Hi, welcome to your Monday mini training. Today is on building a relationship with you. So there's three aspects of your relationship with you: your thoughts, your commitment to yourself, and your resilience. So your thoughts first. These are things like what's going on in your mind. Oftentimes there's so many thoughts that we have that we don't take a minute to sit down and see how those thoughts are feeling. For instance, if we're thinking things like you're not doing a good enough job, you're not a good enough mom, you yell too much, your kids are on screens too much, you don't feed them healthy enough, you don't exercise enough, you're too fat, you're ugly, whatever all those thoughts are going through our mind, if we have thoughts like that all of the time, we are not going to have a great relationship with ourselves. Imagine if that was your best friend. If your best friend came and every time they hung out with you, they just told you what a terrible job you're doing, how you're never doing enough, how you're just going to fail, how you should just stop anyways, right? We wouldn't be friends with somebody that acted that way towards us all of the time. Yet we allow our own thoughts to run wild and we believe them and think them all of the time. So, the first aspect of a relationship with you is your thoughts. If you haven't already watched the training on mind minimalism and thought work, do that one first because that will teach you a tip and tool to kind of manage those thoughts. Secondly, your commitment. So, this means doing what you say you're going to do, having your own back. So, if you decide that you're going to wake up at 7 a.m. and exercise, actually sticking to that, actually following through. One aspect of this is if we decide to do something that's way out there that we know we're not going to be able to handle, it's almost like failing ahead of time. So trying to kind of shift our expectations to make them a little bit more manageable. An example for me is I had decided I wanted to start waking up earlier, and I would turn my alarm on, and every morning or almost every morning I wouldn't wake up. I would just turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, just press sleep all of the time. Well, I was breaking down that relationship with myself, and I was starting to believe that I was never going to be able to achieve this. So what I did was I looked at my schedule and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to push my alarm back by half an hour. I'm just going to sleep in for an extra 30 minutes. And since then, every single day, I've been able to get up when my alarm tells me to get up. And so I'm building that relationship with myself. And maybe later on, I'll decide that I'm going to push it earlier and I can handle it. But it's setting those reasonable goals and expectations so that we know that we can actually commit to them and follow through and do what we say we're going to do. Imagine if you were meeting a friend at a coffee shop tomorrow at noon and she didn't show up. And then the next day she was like, yeah, let's do it again. And she doesn't show up. Over time, you're going to decrease trust with her. Your relationship's not going to be that great. Well, you have a relationship with you as well. So it's that same aspect of showing up and being there for somebody else and for you, or being there for you just as you would if it were someone else. Resilience. Resiliency means being able to handle anything, having the tools and knowing how to use the tools to actually manage things, to be able to handle any emotion or any situation that might come up. And so this is building things like self-confidence, self-love, self-compassion, learning how to manage your mind, learning how to manage your emotions. So in the coming Monday mini training weeks, this is what we will talk about.